Man, I might name my album that. That's why I might name it. It's an album release party every time I step out. Welcome to the Grammys. It's nasty, you heard? It's paper. I might name my album that. That's why I might name it.
Yo, what's good? You see it, what to know. Check this out. Even if I'm using like materialistic objects and shit like that, like a light bulb or LED light, for example, right? The LED is circuits, right? So if I take out one of the circuits, I got to replace that because the whole light not going to work right. The whole thing not going to work right. Like, so you got a lot of people that don't want to tap into whatever their best ability is supposed to be. They figure if they go off your story or write some shit about your life because it's in comparison to something similar, they can make some money. They can live a certain particular understanding based off of frequency or energy that's not even theirs, right? I'm trying to tell you some real issue. It's a disservice in all its majesty not to do what you're supposed to do for yourself. It's a disservice. You know what I'm saying? Because I need to know that my elbow working like my other one. You know what I'm saying? I need to know that all parts of my body is working cohesively by itself, so therefore I can move. Otherwise, how I'm gonna move? Something gonna be off, yo. You're gonna have diabetes. You're gonna have, cirrhosis, or you're gonna have something, because it's gonna be parts that's off, and they trying to play a different role in the body, or they shut down. And because they shut down, they not acclimating to the value of their fullest potential. You know what I'm saying? That's us as a culture. Not for nothing, when we talk about old school stuff, when you talk about Egypt and you talk about, different times that existed with a bunch of different people, you know what I'm saying? And their greatness that came out. If you look at certain points from the golden ages up until now, you can see the whole conductivity of the people dwindling down into nothing. You can see it. You can see it by the structures of how things are built. They're not as pristine. You know what I'm saying? So you start understanding like, dang, this must be the togetherness breaking apart, because otherwise you got more functions when everybody working on the body correctly, cohesively, because the best part of that talent has to be supreme in order for everything to work in its own unison. So when we speaking about our culture, we speaking about the country, we speaking about how things are happening amongst people and how people preview things. All praise due to the Most High. You got to understand, it's not about how you perceive what's out of you. It's about how you master every function inside of you. That's the whole jewel. You gotta master every function inside of you. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't do that, then you know what you're doing? You selling the body and yourself short. It's like, you got a race, but you taking your time to get to the starting line. Everybody done started running, you over there drinking juice. You talking to somebody, you on the phone, you like, I got things to do, I'm gonna get there. And then you start running, and then on top of that, you slow. You ain't got no speed, so you like, it don't look right. It don't come out as fluid as the other parts of the body. You know what I'm saying? And this be a problem. Like, not for nothing, the diagram of the value going to even increase times 10, and you're going to really look like you just out of place, because you can't help but to try to revel in something. The praise don't never go to you. You not know that? The head sits on a neck. The head sits on a pedestal that's based by the shoulders. People let that shit fly over their head all the time. The head sits on a pedestal. So there is a head to the whole understanding of who we are. Like, whether people want to see it or not, it's already diverse. The creational aspect was made in these type of aspects. No matter if you want to be on your kneecap, like my knee, and your knee can crack the shit out of you. If you get nice with it, some Muay Thai, you know what I'm saying? It can be used in the value to make it feel like I'm supreme. The feet are super supreme. You know why? Because they hold up the stability of everything, but it ain't at the top. The shoulders are supreme. They can knock you out too, but they only limit it to some motions. But they got to play their role in order for the body to be able to move. Everything has a role, but it's not overall supreme of everything. So, you know what I'm saying? This arm will never tell a story of this arm because it's on the other side. The perception is off. So it may have some similarities, but it's not going to speak the same story. It's not going to try to manipulate the value of its greatness by potentials of other stories. All praise due to the Most High. And this be the problem with the world. Like, not for nothing, everything that's going on, you got subsequent values that don't want to be covered. They want to be out. The bottom of my hands, they got to be covered up for the most part because my hands is closing in on them. The bottom of my feet is covered because I'm standing on them. My teeth and my tongue is covered because my mouth ain't always open. My eyelids can cover my eyeballs. These are values. These are values to particular aspects of the body that don't always get seen, but they play a role. You know what I'm saying? And this is how the world has a problem with it. It's like everything is inverted. The world is childish. So you got kids flipping their eyelids over, showing you the eyeballs. Remember doing that when you was young? That ain't supposed to be like that. That's not a body function. That's just something we did. And when you start looking at the motions of people, what they just do naturally, they throw everything out of whack. Everything out of whack. And nobody takes account. Like, you're still in a kid mentality. So you're like, yeah, I flip my eyelids over. Even though that function doesn't work like that, you're still doing it. It's like, yo, what are you talking about right now? Because look at everything around you. It's so many things that are granted to happen, but the function doesn't serve the overall body. And people are sitting there saying, this is something that I can do. I can say, I can be. No, you giving your whole body a disservice because it's something inside of you yet that you haven't pulled out. And that's going to make the body work that much better because now you know the part of the body you on and the role you're supposed to play. But if you keep trying to do what the elbow do or the finger joints do or what the mouth can do or the back, whatever, you off. The face, yeah, the face going to show mad functions because it got its own capability, but that ain't got nothing to do with the stomach. But what people do, look at my body. It's the whole understanding of truly playing your role. Like, are you looking at yourself as a creation? Or are you just saying, oh, let's put all that aside. I'm going to do what the world got to do. So you don't even know yourself. You don't know nothing about yourself. You don't know nothing about yourself. Only thing you know is what your body capable of going through and feeling. So that means you addicted to crack. You addicted. You outside your body so much, you got to wait to see what goes on just so you can have a inclination of a synapses. What does that tell you about yourself? I remember when I first started spitting back in the day, people be like, yo, I don't know how your mind can move as fast as that so then you can put words out. I can't think like that. People would say that to me. Rapping wasn't a normal thing back then. Everybody didn't do it. But what happened? Because it was done so much, the electrical synapses traveled around the whole world and gave everybody an option to say, oh, that's rhyming. Let me see if I can rhyme something. Cat in the Hat. The most dumbest rhymes came out over the last 20 years. I don't care what nobody say. Even if they was hitting, them Jones was stupid. The beat was wrong. Like, yo, what they doing with this knick-knack paddywhack crap? And then the real minds that actually was able to articulate a value to give you a pretense and a visual, that got buried in the books. They was like, yo, put that away. We don't want to see minds thinking like that. So when you get a strong mind come around, you know what y'all apt to, the same thing that the system did in order to control a value. You play that same clone role. You a clone. They be like, yo, I'm going to treat it like that. I like it so much, I want to be it. What about you? You just forgot yourself. Oh, that's similar to mine. I can tell. Oh, I heard what they said. It's like almost like mine. I can tell it. You weak as shit. So that means you can never go inside yourself and come out with nothing. Never. Who are you? What are you? Shit fly over people's head, yo, and then you sit back and laugh and you like, oh, this, look what I did. You ain't even did nothing. You ain't worth nothing because you got to wait for somebody else's energy for you to do something. That should bother you, yo. That should eat you up alive. Like, yo, you straight Pinocchio and Geppetto, yo. Geppetto got you on the strings like this. As soon as Geppetto say this thought, you go like this. That should bother the hell out of you, yo. Like, yo, I can't think for myself, yo. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes to the value of emotional discomfort, how can somebody else's anger or their happiness or whatever they got going on in their life distort the value of how you feel? That's really your out. God, you weak as shit. And then you got to really say, yo, damn, I'm that shallow. I got to wait to see what somebody else is doing to get a response in my life. Yo, that shit should eat you alive, yo. That shit should be eating at all your everything inside of you. You should feel like you got like ants running around inside under your skin and you can't get them. Skin too thick. You like, oh, get this shit out of me. You should feel like that. You're not happy with yourself so much the way you got to judge the way life works off you, off the happiness of other people or their understanding or their particular look. The world has the whole body. If my body start acting wrong, I got an issue. It's so many things people sick from. What's going amok in their body? It's like, I'm gonna eat this. So you eating this food knowing that shit don't serve the purpose, but it tastes good. It's an addiction. It tastes good. So you go against the body just to satisfy a flesh feeling. So that's your principality in your flesh battling because you're going to get it. You're going to do what you want to do. You like, yo, I don't even care. So you don't care that you unwinding yourself. Like you literally just bought a brand new doll and you taking the strings out of this shit. Like I'm going to take my strings out because I like how they strings is. Who going to put you back together? Boo-boo the fool. You got so many people that lack the level of education of oneself, and you can't even say you heard somebody say self-preservation, but never practice the value of what that is. You never put it in work ever. You don't even know what self-preservation is. Some real itch, like think about it on some real level. Like you had to preserve yourself. You would have to understand the whole workings of the body and how it contains the light inside of you in order for you to be your highest being, first and foremost. So how you going to do that if you don't even know the workings of you or what part of the body you play a role on, what you supposed to be doing in life? Get mad. They ain't teach me that, so I'm going to go do what Susie, Beth, and Jane doing. I'm going to go over here and see what Marquise, Tony, and Steve got rocking. You can't be corny like that. You literally would have to take yourself away. Like, let me sit my ass down for a minute. Because I don't know. You should be scared to move around like that. Because you don't know. And once somebody see you like that, you a victim. Because they can easily put a downloaded chip inside your back. Now you moving for them. This world ain't slow. You don't know who you are. That's the problem. It's always been the problem since the 60s. They like, yo, we got to remember who we are and where we came from. Don't let the government tell you. You don't even have a conversation with your elders. Your elders passed on. You didn't have a conversation with them because the world was enticing. You wanted to put on a suit, some slacks, go to the club, shake it up a little bit. What's different now? Or I came out of that family, but I'm not a part of that family. Even if your family don't serve the purpose or the value that you want, you know what you need to learn? That family, so you can understand whether it's right or wrong for you, because not for nothing, you're going to still walk in that energy. It's better to know the possibilities of what can come with you. This is self-study. Look at it right in his face. Stop running from it. Stop always pointing your finger, talking about this wrong. Stop trying to be like somebody else. Sit your ass down somewhere and go take that, eat that, and say, yo, let me find out more about this. I need to know, because you know what? What if that happens to me? What if I get like that? So everything is magnetic. So why are you pulling certain things? You might need to study these things you're pulling in, because it's going to speak to the value of the attraction. So now you can really, you can't sit there and not take accountability. You can't say, well, I'm attracting this, but I don't think I'm like that. That's crazy. That means you never looked in the mirror, ever. You just thought you was having fun. That means you're oblivious. How can you live life oblivious to you and your surroundings? Matter of fact, if I take sugar and put it in water and make the water sweet, you ever had sugar water? Yeah, poor people do that when they ain't got money. You know what I'm saying? So imagine that. Every time you go somewhere, you don't know the effect of what you do in different cups. This shit get ill messing with me. Now I don't gotta talk all the way I want to talk all the time, because you know I talk how I want to talk, and I give it when I want to give it. It's me. I'm a head. I'm a cardinal sign. That means I carry law naturally. Everybody don't carry law naturally. The butt cheeks don't do shit but get sat on. That side thigh, you don't even be knowing it's there until it itch. You like, oh, my thigh itching. You don't even use it really, unless it's connected to the joint and allow you to walk. But how much attention do you pay to it? Not unless it's hurting. Oh, my hip hurt. All of a sudden out the blue, now you want to rub on it. You ain't never pay your hip no attention until that shit got pain. That's how much you know people don't pay attention to their body. Do you take care of yourself? Really take care of yourself? Do you look at yourself? Grab, touch, fit. You don't even know. You don't know you. You don't check on you. I was talking to somebody on Facebook the other day, and I was like, yo, you know what's crazy? Because I was like, I think I'm coming out with a cold. So when I said that, right? It's like the most I heard me. It's like, you ain't coming out with nothing. Straight like that. Soon as I'm typing it, and the shit clearing up while I'm typing, I'm like, yo, that's crazy. But then I'm like, yo, I tell them in the comments, I'm like, yo, you know, I had a conversation with my body. I'm gonna let you hear this. They ain't never hit me back. They probably thought I was crazy or whatever. So I'm like, yo, nah. But this is the conversation I had with my body. I was like, yo, all y'all run this under me. Sometimes I check out and I go to sleep. But we run this body. So who up in here that ain't come with us? I'm like, this ours. You shouldn't be bubbling and doing this and doing that. You're supposed to understand all the functions and actually have control over that because y'all work together. I'm literally meditating and having this conversation with my body like we real deep. Yo, I imagine everything inside my body, they came together in masses. They all cheering on like, yeah, where you been? This is real. Like it's blood, because the response was blowing my mind. I'm like, yo, is this really happening right now? Why am I seeing it this way? Certain other things are happening. I'm getting like nerve jumps in my body and stuff. I'm like, yo, who that? Who in there jumping the nerves like they going against what I'm saying? I'm like, arrest them. Arrest them. The nerves calm down. I'm like, yo, is this really happening right now? Start really playing a role like if I'm the head king over a kingdom, literally just my body though. Talking to it. I even spoke to my cells sometimes. I'm like, yo, my cells split to form nerves. Y'all keep splitting and dividing. That's y'all frequency. So all y'all got eyes and y'all see more things than I do because y'all just moving around in there. I'm like, come back together and consolidate that knowledge and let me get a download real quick. Having these conversations with self. I mean, like, yo, how you be going? Because I pay attention to me. I ain't giving everybody me. I'm not about to go out there. You want a piece of me? I don't want everybody touching on me. I don't even want you around my energy. I don't want to smell your breath. Because now I understand that it's another city within the circumference of where my city is, or where my country is. I start thinking like that. I start thinking like, yo, this is my own world. Literally. You start seeing how the workings of it, and they're telling you, your body is telling you, yo, you putting stuff in us that don't allow us to work right. And think about it, a barren city, nobody live there, but it's big. It's like the grass ain't even grow up. It's just a nice city to come to, but it's a light in the tower. The next thing you know, they start bringing hot dog trucks in there, talking about they setting up this and setting up that. Next thing you know, you got banners and flags and all this in your life. You got everything going on, all this attraction to the value, and you feel a little bit better because it's the city not barren no more, but you ain't got nothing organic in there. It's just everything that came in there. You got to clean that mess up after a while. Let me rip these posters down. We got to get this trash out of here, yo. We partied and all. I don't even know you people. We had a good time in my city, but it's time to go. And you are in control of that value. You want to be the value of something great, but you're not great to yourself in order to come to another kingdom and bring something that you might. Look, they want me to shut up. It don't stop nothing. They want you not to manufacture what this body's supposed to manufacture. So when you do go to another city, you can say, look what I can offer you, something organic. They don't want that. So they give you everything else going on in the world. So now when you come to them, you bring in other companies to them, inhabit their body. It's just like germs, parasites, demons. All these addictions get inside your body, and then you like, yo, let me go share this with you. Let me put you on, shorty, drink that. Put you on. Yo, honey, you want to eat that? It sounds like a familiar story, right? And then you wonder why the cities start clashing, because innately, naturally, you are a divine being with light inside of that. And your trash ain't going to be, I can't eat somebody else's shit and then shit. I will never. I hope you won't either. But then that's the process, right? Let me give you some bullshit food and see if you sustain life on it. Let me see what you're willing to accept. Let me see what you're willing to accept if I give you this right here. Because you take everything else, though. Take everything. You don't even know yourself. So you snatching shit just to feel good about a concept of what you think you are. And then when you see something that's reveling in itself, that reflection hits you like a wake up, stupid. You get mad, though, because the punch was louder than the knowledge. That's how long you stayed away from oneself. You see somebody in their essence, and it just tick you off because you could have made that decision. I coulda, woulda, shoulda. Don't we hate the woulda, coulda, shouldas? It's always after the fact that plays relevancy. But don't you think the world love that? Because now you got to double back and spend more money. It's economics, baby boy. It's economics, sweetheart. The misfortune of your unfortunate life. Yeah, I'm going to get cash off that. And they hear it so articulately, hood spoken, eloquently. I could have did that. I could have took that same attitude I had and represented for the Most High. Sure you could have. Sure you could have. But you wasn't bold enough. You was too busy looking at everybody around you trying to copy a style. Nah, I'm being my own style. That's how I came. But then doing that with some real shit, it look real different. People don't be liking that. That means you don't know yourself. Because it's a special person inside of you. It's a light inside of you that's electric. That's why you living and misguided by your actions. Imagine if you came real the way you are. I just got a teammate. We Voltron out this bitch. And I'll form the head. But y'all don't see it like that. And then we keep talking about Egypt. They built megaliths. Their togetherness was impeccable. They were so together, they looked alike. They walk around with bald heads and something stick out the top and rap. Everybody looked the same. Like, all right, everybody looked the same, even the workers. They was comfortable in their own element, in their own essence. They was fish in a fish tank. We fish, we swimming. That's what we do. So the whole world got an aspect of it. So then you watch how the world went farther in time, how that conductivity fell lesser because the megaliths wasn't as pristine. You started seeing the togetherness spread apart. This was implication over. They tell you be practicing this shit for eons. Like, yo, we gonna make sure we break it all apart. But it's gonna be a hard piece of granite. We can't just snap it. We got to break chips off. And the chips started breaking. And now look where we at. Talking about something that you can't even match up to by you can't match up to that. It's not no togetherness here to match up to that value. It took this long to separate us. Ain't nobody got that type of glue. But everybody talking about what they remember, how you remember anything, and they burnt everything that was your truth. They pushed it in your face, remember? You got to go back. Stop forgetting. Just because you want to be on top of something. Everything that was our truth, they burnt it. They made sure they put that in your face, and they had big piles. These stories, yo, these stories was endless. I remember we was in school, yo. It's like the late 80s, early 90s. I'll never forget. We was in school, and they even showed us documentaries on, if you don't know about the story of the Kesars or the 13th tribe, go look it up. You know what I'm saying? You got to go look these things up, and you got to go really deep into the concept of what, because some of their own people was disgusted. They was disgusted. See, this be the real ish. When somebody over here trying to make you take a reality, but they own people, the reason why they separated from, because they was like, nah, you lying. You gonna make sure we don't get the olive branch. We ain't gonna be able to connect to these people by a godly standpoint. You gonna force it. And that's really the bottom line of what happened with them. They was like, nah, we're going to force our way in. We just go up in there. We'll get some babies. We'll mix. We just going to mix. And eventually, we'll be a part of the same culture. And it didn't happen like that. Divine's like, nah, keep that separate. We're going to keep sure. We're going to put the arrogance. Divine said, I'll raise Pharaoh just to crush him. So, yeah, you in power right now. I'm going to keep letting you be in power to keep that nasty energy right there. That nasty energy we need to see. I want to see how long it's going to stay. Because your own people was like, yo, what are we doing? If we the third, then who is them? You can't have 14, 15, 16 kids because you want to. If that's not true, then who is them? Then everything, oh, well, we got to go around and erase the truth then. We got to destroy it. We got to deface it. It had to start from somewhere to even give somebody an idea for it. We got to deface it. This is a simple conversation, but everybody want to make it archaeology. They want to make it high science. No, this is a simple thuggery, period. It's simple thuggery. And at the end of the day, if we want to be right, then be right, because the essence of sincerity is the only thing the universe hear. They don't hear the conversations. It don't hear the curse words. It don't hear the actions. That's why people be like, yo, why things go left? Because the universe don't hear none of that. It hears sincerity. This heart right here pumps a level of feeling when you high, happy, and when you high, sad. When you super happy, you just forget everything. You ever had a scar on your leg and it healed and you forgot about it? Scabbed and fell off in the shower. You done forgot you had that scar because it's good. See how much addiction you got with good? You so addicted to good, you forget about anything else. That's why when people get money, they forget about the Most High. I got money now. I don't need nobody. You don't need nobody. You got money. I got you. But then the negativity, you cry, your heart pounding, sincere as a mother. I want to fight. At that point, you're supposed to reach out to the Most High. Right then. Because it's your most sincerest moment. But if you can actually do that in your happiness too, watch what you manifest. Imagine taking the 1/3 eye that you got and merging your soul with the woman that got a third eye, and y'all become one spiritual being. That's what's supposed to happen. Talking about portals in the air and they can't reach them because they're so high up. I bet you that spiritual being that becomes one with their partner can. You can fly at that point. I just said this in another bill. People don't even die together no more because they're not spiritually connected. It's supposed to hurt if you lose what you really connected to. And if it don't bother you, that's because you got pieces of yourself somewhere else. I don't want to hear all the stories everybody got going on. Ain't none of y'all doing nothing right. And be mad as shit because what you did under a divine foundation wasn't divine, it crumbled. Every building gonna fall if it ain't got divine stakes at the bottom. If that concrete ain't divine at that foundation, it's coming down. I don't know when, but it's gonna come down. You can bet on that. That'd be the long game. That'd be like, yo, I'm gonna let you F up just so you can learn. Don't you think that's why people doing what they doing right now, what's going in the world? They like, yo, we thought, we ain't think, but we see it now. It's here. It's going to happen. Shit going to happen. People going to be like, oh, my God, do I care? Nope. You know why I don't? Because I was in this world. I was not of this world, and I'm in this world again. It don't matter to me. People didn't budge when I came and went. It don't even matter. So I'm just looking. Some people hurt me. Some people tried to put me in the worst situations. Some people didn't give a shit and don't want to take accountability because they understand where they were wrong at. Don't you see that as an issue? People do shit wrong and get mad at the other person when they do something wrong because they did it so wrong they can't come back from it. Don't set a fire to a bridge that you're going to have to go back and get the apples later. It's your fault. I even told people how to mend wounds, but you don't want to build a bridge. You don't want to do that. You don't want to put the stuff you took away back. It's too much work. Got to take accountability. Got to be a real divine being to do that. You got to really put your shit aside and have an emotional maturity with yourself, emotionally. And you're in here, you got to understand, you have to have work those things in order to. And if you never did it, you don't know it. You like, I ain't. That should be funny to me. I'll be like, yo, look, they can't, it should eat them alive. It's divine comedy. Because literally at that point, you chose to use everything that you are to sustain a false reference about yourself. That's ill, yo. That's some ill shit. You a whole elbow or a piece of skin in between the joints right there. You really think you a body by yourself. You probably supposed to be just chilling. You know what I'm saying? That spot on your back that you can't itch, it's just there. You can't reach it so far. You don't never put lotion on it. You don't even wash it. It probably got a bunch of dirt on it. You just can't see because you can't reach it. But it's there, though, and it's still healthy. But you don't know. That might be you. That's why you're so hard-headed. Find out which role you're supposed to be playing in life. You know what I'm saying? And stop pointing your finger at everybody that you involved in your actions and your choices with. That means your decision-making skills wasn't on point. It's not to say a good thing that walked away from you was bad. It was to say, did you handle that good thing the best way possible? Not the possibilities of your contingencies, neither. The best way you were supposed to. Did you learn how to nurture before you got in a situation that needed such? Stop trying to find a reason to make everything else look like it's against you when in fact you just don't know what the fuck you doing. And that be the reality of shit. People just don't be knowing what the fuck they doing. And they don't want to say that. You don't want to say, I don't know. I got all this and didn't know what to do. That's how far that shit be crumbling. And then by the time you buried and then turn the maggots and all that, the reincarnation be ill because you only stuck with the subliminal, the leftover residual energy of what you used to be in another body. You come back like, why life like this? Did you give yourself anything when you was here before? You didn't do it. Everything was outside of you. So since it was outside, it stayed outside. You never learned to bring anything in. So when you do rise, it has a pretense. What's fulfillment if ain't nothing in it? Said in the last days, you're going to be unfulfilled. I call them the divine by everything. Should be tasting good, yo. Should be hitting. I'll be like, yo, this right here on point, divine good, yo. And I get to be myself. Fall in this space mentally and like, yo, I don't know how things going to happen. People be like, yo, it don't just come because your faith ain't strong. And I say that 1,000,001 times. I've seen too many things happen not to believe that's how it go. I've been with nothing and nobody to call on. And out of the blue, something just happened. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I just asked for it in here. So childish with it too. Like, oh, giddy as hell. Like, yo, how'd that happen? So many times, people, places, things. I'll be like, yo, it just happened. I didn't even tell nobody. It was nobody to tell. And people be like, yo, I'll never wait around because it don't happen like that. That's because they never put the work in to see what it feel like. They too angry. They impatient. They don't know. They haven't practiced. They don't know the basics of what it looked like to house light. You don't put your light on everything. You like, yo, as soon as I get paper, I'm up. As soon as I get that booty, I'm up. Everything is outside of you, yo. And when people meet somebody who's inside of them, you know what you do? You run from it. You're like, yo, inside, I don't know about that. That be the reality. You just don't want to be yourself, but you know what I'm going to tell you? I miss you. I miss the divine version of you. And I know that version is inside of you waiting to come out because only you can drive that car as soon as you master the type of car it is. I'm waiting for you. But I'm going to keep knocking you down every time you stand up with some bullshit because I know that ain't you. But that light is going to come to the surface whether you want it to or not. Just be prepared when it does. And if you're not, it's going to be a hard loss. Every time you got to change a version of yourself, it's like murder. You literally got to kill those thoughts, kill that character, kill that being. And if you don't know what that looks like, you don't know how it is, it's going to be hard. I would suggest you start practicing on taking things away. You came with nothing, you're going to leave with nothing. Being happy in yourself and being able to spread that is a beautiful thing. To sit down and say, you know what, I can help. And you figure it out in your mind real quick. And then it works. You definitely ask the Almighty. It's like all praise due to the Most High. None of this can happen without you. People ask for things. If Divine said, I put the desire in your heart, why are you asking for anything? You should say, Divine, I don't know where I got off the timeline at, but will you allow me to be where you wanted me to be at this point in my life? Will you see me how you sent me? All praise due to the Most High. All praise due to the Most High. See, they like to usurp that and make it into something different and make you feel bad about the value. One thing got nothing to do with the next, and it's not a worldly thing. It's definitely strengthening what you are at your fullest. So if you understand that, then you know what to bring to the table. Especially when you're speaking to the Most High, it's supposed to be a respect, not a, I don't know things that's going on and I need. No, Divine never messed up nothing. This world does that to pull you off it, your path either way. Divine don't do none of that. The ether don't do it. None of that. That's not how everything is contrastal to this world. So our actions is contrastal to universal stuff. That's why they can't hear us. So this is why the only thing that cuts through that is sincerity. You got to be real with yourself. You got to be real with you. But then after a while, if Divine puts something down there and it has a fail safe and then that fail safe don't work, it speaks to what's around it. So then they gotta go into it and say, hold on, let me see what's going on down there. You might be under all that fog crying. They see you, I'm like, wait, that's not supposed to happen. Well, let me get a deeper look. Then you start getting goosebumps. Angels start coming out of nowhere. Angles of light surround you. You start feeling uplifted for no reason, like, yo, wow, I feel good. Get a cool wind, start running up your clothes, and there ain't no wind around you. Look, I ain't gonna hold you, man. I'm just trying to show you something. Knock of the wise, yo.